Hi everybody, this is the website boy again with tutorial number 22, and today I'm going to give you one of my best tutorials that I have ever done in Bootstrap. So you need to pay very close attention to this. We're going to be building one of those modals in Bootstrap, one of those pop-up windows that will put a picture right in your face of a huge picture, right? And you're going to be able to turn it off, you're going to be able to turn it on, you're going to be able to put any content you want inside of them. It's going to be a very awesome tutorial since I'm going to improve it. That's right, the website boy is going to actually make Bootstrap modals better than the original one. So you need to pay very close attention to this tutorial. Let's go. All right, for those of you that want to do everything like me, I understand you. I want to do everything like me. You can install Sublime Text 2 and the Emmet plugin just to write code a little faster, right? Actually, a lot faster. For those of you that don't have this option of Sublime Text, you can install Notepad++, which is free for Windows, and the Text Wrangler, which is free for Mac users. And for those of you out there that want to download exercise files, and I understand, you can go to my website, thewebsiteboy.com/snippets. And guess what? You can also watch the tutorials at my website. That's cool, right? But anyway, for those of you out there that see this thumbs up, don't forget to click it if you like my videos. I mean, this means the world to me, right? And I appreciate it very much. For those of you out there that want to navigate my course, this is how you do it. You can click the next for the next video and the for the previous videos, right? You can also subscribe to my channel immediately. And every time I upload one of my videos, guess what? You get an email automatically to your email box. That is cool. For those of you out there that like my videos, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are my world. You make more videos every single day, all right? You wake me up in the morning and you keep me awake at nighttime. Thank you so much. Let's continue with the tutorial. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing things a little bit different now. I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be building so that way we don't waste time. And if you want to keep going, you can. So we're going to build something like this. So click on it and you got to get a picture here. And this is called a modal, a pop-up window from Bootstrap. Now, Bootstrap has a very long way of doing this. The code is very long, and you have to build a specific modal for each of these pictures if you want to show it like that. The way I have it showing here is I modified it, and you can actually show that specific picture when you click on it. So this is actually cooler than the one from Bootstrap. If you in Bootstrap, if you click outside, then it goes away. But if you click it here, if you click inside this one, it goes away too. So I actually modify that too. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. All right. So let's go to our regular page that we have from the last exercise, right? And we want to include those pictures here. In order for us to do that, you need to actually create a folder called images and put all these images there. Now you can go ahead and go to my website and download these pictures and or the images folder and put them there along with the exercise files if you like. All right. So once you have the images folders and the pictures, the next thing to do is actually to include all this. All right. So let's start setting this up. Let's open Indexed. And the first thing that I'm going to do is actually create a page that's going to have all these pictures. So let's go to the sidebar, which is right here. All right. And below the registration, I'm gonna put another include because I don't want all the pictures here. I'm gonna include we're gonna do everything with includes since it's cleaner, as you can see. So we're gonna call this new file aside photos. I'm gonna go to includes. I'm gonna grab something to do a save as. I want to grab maybe the something short and sweet. The registration. Let's do a save as. Let's call this aside photos. And here, let's just take all this off. Take this one off, and let's just call this meeting photos. Meeting photos or something. All right. Let's put a big P here and do a camel case. And then this is gonna be very generic, So don't worry about it if you make a mistake. I'm just gonna call this. Did you go to the last meeting? Right. So below here, then I'm gonna start including the pictures. So first things first, I want to make a div and kind of enclose them in this div, and because I'm gonna use this div later on, so let's actually make a class called modal photos for this, and this is just my personal class. And then we're gonna make another class called photo grid and clear fits. All right, just so that if we run into problems, we have this, and we want to make it a photo grid. All right, and once here, then we started including the picture. So the first picture that I have on that is in the folder images. It's called pick one. I gave a really simple name so that way we can um, go on with this tutorial fast. All right, so let's see if that works already. All right, refresh, and now we have the first picture. All right, and what you have to do to make the next one, the next pictures, is repeat this step. All right, and just rename them. 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're gonna have a total of 6 pictures. We're gonna go back to the site, see how that looks. Now we have the 6 pictures. They're not doing anything yet. Next thing is to actually go to the header. All right, and we want to make a modal div in there, and that's not gonna have anything, but it's not gonna have anything initially, but then later on we're gonna be adding the pictures dynamically in this div here. So let's call it section. Let's give it an idea of modal, and let's give it some classes. We do need some classes if I can't remember exactly. Fade is another one. All right, and now that we have this, let's just comment this and call it modal. Right, this is where actually this is the box that's gonna be in the middle of the page. All right, so keep that in mind. And then here we're gonna create another a div with a class of modal body. And very important, if you don't create this, it's not gonna happen. You need this. All right, so and then inside here, and if you saw the Bootstrap, I don't know if I showed you, but the Bootstrap code is really long, and it has something that I want to show you. JavaScript, and then if you go to modal, look how long this code is. Really long, right? So we're just using this right here to make the modal. This and the original, the main div. All right, so those two, that's all we need right now. But there is a lot more there, but I don't want to write all that code, and we really don't need it because we're going to be showing just a picture. We're not going to be showing titles or text, anything else. But if you want to show those, come back here and copy that out. But we're just going to be showing pictures on this one. So I'm going to create a picture, and I'm going to call this modal picture. All right, so that is there. We don't need a source because we are going to be including this dynamically, right? So that's why we're giving this an ID here. All right, all right, so once we are done with this, the next thing to do is actually write a script. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the JS folder and drop that script in there. Okay, and down here we're gonna have to make a comment, say show modal right here, and that's all we need from there. So I'm just thinking, all right, so let's make the function actually that's gonna make all this. So let's make a function call. I like to do this. Let me see this. All right, I don't need to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and let me see something. I think I'm missing something. All right, I'm not done. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting really bad memory on this. So let's target the right here. We're gonna be targeting this div right here. This is what we're gonna be targeting. All right. Um, and once we do that, Actually, no, right here. This is the div that we're going to be targeting. I'm just thinking what div we were targeting. All right, we're not going to target the whole sidebar, the whole box in the sidebar. What we're targeting is this div, and inside that is going to be the image. So that's what we're going to be targeting. I lost myself there for a moment. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and call this modal and modal photo. Let's just copy this thing. Hopefully it works from the first time. Usually when I'm showing something, I might make a mistake or two. Let's do let's do an on-click with jQuery. We're using JavaScript here, but basically jQuery using JavaScript. Let's do this function here. Follow me. If you already know how to do jQuery, then you're good. And if you don't, you're still good because you're following me. All right, and let's just, I'm not gonna close this. All right, so let's bring that down. And so we are targeting the images inside this modal class. All right, make sure that you put this little dot here, which it signals a class, right? And then we are going to be calling that ID modal, which is that bots that we made on the header. And we are going to be calling a special function called modal. All right, so here we put some curly brackets and then we bring that down. Let's do some, say show dot what is it, that true. All right, so show that true. We do a comma here because we got to continue writing. All right, and let's do a variable with my src. I believe it's fine. Let's do src camel case, is fine. All right, and let's do this. So basically the this function is when you click on that specific picture, we're gonna get some value out of that, right? So the value that we're gonna be getting out of this is the source. And then but we got to do something to the source, because what we want to do in reality is that we want to change I got big images there. Let me just show you. I got some images that are named, they have the same name, but they have a word called large after the underscore. And what I want to do is remove this from small dynamically, remove small and put large instead. That way when I click on that picture, it's going to show me that new source, right? It's going to change the pictures to large. So what we're doing is we're taking this out of here and putting large in here when we click on it, right? So let me see if I remember that source, and then we do a substring. A substring I think can do it for us. Substring, and let's say we start at 0. So we're gonna start from the 0 to remove the string, and then we can use the same this, right, to do the source length instead of counting how many characters we have on that specific string, right? So the length, and then what we want to do is we want to, once we reach the end, we want to go back and we say at least, and I believe it's 9 characters. I think I did this a couple days ago and I forgot to. Hopefully that's what it is. If not, we change that number, right? Large, and this is what we want to include. So we concatenate this large. That's the image name that we want to put in there. Large.jpg, all right? And then, all right, so this should work here fine. We can always do an alert here to see if we're doing okay. So let's do an alert on this. Let's go back here, see if that works. Refresh. All right, it's not working. All right, so we made a mistake somewhere here. Hopefully that length show I think this all look good. I mean, header, we got the ID fine here. All right, so when we click on that picture, we're supposed to get a, hold on, yeah, this is fine. I don't get anything out of there. Let's check that click function. Let me see that. Let's check this function to see if it's working. This alert, this on click. I might be making a mistake here or something. So let's write something there and let's see if it was working before that. It's not. And this has to do because I header and it's inside this document. I gotta make sure it's inside there because if it's not, yep. All right. So something's going on here. I was just saving everything. Sometimes that fixes everything. Let's just do a check this out and let's do an alert on this function. So when we click on that picture, we'll do an alert there and let's see if that works. So that's working. All right, was not working. Let's do an undo. Was not working something that I made a mistake here that you probably are looking at it and ah my gosh, put a comma there. Wow, look at that. Sorry guys. I'm not gonna delete this video, right? So we got that under control. That was a comma there. All right. So now the next thing to do is, so now that we have this going here, let's just take this out of there. I lost myself. I don't know what's going on. I do so much things at the same time that. So let's do the modal, and we if you go to the modal, we're supposed to have an ID there. So the header right here. Sorry guys. So let's give this an ID because we're gonna be targeting this here. All right, and this is gonna be the modal image, right? And that's what we're gonna be targeting there, modal image. All right, and this is exactly what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna use a attribute function from jQuery, and let's add the src, my src. All right, so in the source we're gonna be adding this instead of the other one. So I believe the path was right when I did the click function. There we go. So it's working now. All right, so that's working, but it's showing on the left side, so we need to take care of that. All right, so we take care of that with CSS. So let's go ahead and go to your CSS, and here what I have for, I have a style.css. So we need to actually make a style.css in here. Let's grab that custom. I don't even know why I have it there for. I'm not even using it. Well, I might not be using on this files here. So let me just do a save as here. I'm so bad with the small screen, guys. Seriously. Really bad with small screen. Really bad. So I'm sorry that you're going through this with me, but understand it, please. I'm trying to. The reason why I have this big screen, and I explain this in many different tutorials, because I make tutorials for people that have mobile devices since they don't have a computer. So that's one of the reasons. So let's do the style.css in here. Let's take all this off. And what we want to do is actually get this modal out of there, put it in the middle. So in order for us to do that, we need to inspect element on it, and we see that it's a modal body there, right? So let's put some width on that, 500, and we put, you see that it went out to there, and then let's put some margin on it, If you don't know what I'm doing, you're gonna see in a minute, right? I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so that's in the middle now, right? So that's what we need. So I'm gonna grab this whole thing from inspect element here. I'm gonna copy it into my style.css. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna refresh it, take this off, and then when I click on it, we got it right in the middle. If we want to bring it down, we just got to put some margin on it. Margin top. All right. So, and I left that mistake on the website that I made on the script.js. I left it there because I wanted you guys to see how you can debug code when you're making a mistake. Not perfect, and I made so many tutorials. It's only a matter of time before I make a mistake and kind of embarrass myself. But anyways, you saw that I was missing a comma here. Anything wrong with this code, and your function might not work. All right, so keep that in mind. And you saw how I debug this. I went and I put an alert even before the code executed, and I took this off and I put an alert on this click function there. So go back to the tutorial and see how exactly what I did, so that way you can get an idea on what to do when you encounter those problems. So that's one of the reasons I left it there. All right, if I wanted to show off or say that I'm perfect, I would just delete it and make another video, or delete that section of the video. So this is actually working now, guys. All right, so if you click on any specific picture, you get this. You click on it, then we have a problem, right? It doesn't go away. Just like I told you in the beginning, from the default functions in Bootstrap, it doesn't allow you to do that. You got to click outside. But we're gonna fix that now, all right? But we still get different pictures, but you got to click outside. I want people to click here and get out. All right, so let's go ahead and add a little piece that we're missing. Let's go to the co-editor there, and let's see if we can make this without making a mistake, right? I think we should be good now. I just haven't drank my coffee, and I didn't sleep much. I don't sleep much. So let's go and let's target that image. All right, so we want to say that when people click on that image, right, let's add a click handler here, right? And let's say um, click and function. All right, let's bring it down. We're good with that. And now here I want to say that what I want to do, I'm not gonna even make it difficult. I'm just gonna make it easy. What I want to do is when people click on the modal, when I want the whole thing to hide when they click on it, because if I just hide the picture, you're just gonna hide the picture and leave the bots there, right? So I just want to hide the whole thing. And actually, I think we can use this here, which is the modal has a method that we can use called hide. All right, so let's try that. Refresh. Let's click on it and let's. Oh, it works. Woof. I came back. All right, I came back from the embarrassment. But anyways, like I said, I want to leave it there so that way you guys can learn exactly how to debug your code if something goes wrong. All right. So click on it, you get an action, right? You get that function there, it goes away. And then if you click on it here, it goes away. So outside and there, so you can change the picture. Now let me recap what we did, so that way you can grasp this a little better. All right, so let me just open this up again. All right, so what we did here, very simple. We created a click event handler, right? So we're saying here, when we click on any image that is inside this div with this class, we want something to happen. All right, and this is the whole function right here. What we want it to happen is we want to show the modal. All right, so, and remember the code functions, they go from top to bottom. All right, so when we open the modal, right, so that's open already. Then we want to do something. And we still click, when we click on it, we're doing all this at the same time. So we're gonna grab the source of that image, and let me just show you. All right, right here, let's go to the site photos. All right. What we're doing there on here on this variable, because we created a variable and we're saying this, that means that specific picture that you're clicking on and the source, and then the substring is gonna grab, is gonna like slice the string out of there from the 0 position to the whole length minus 7, and then add this portion when it takes it off. So when it take that substring, what is that gonna do? That's going to take all this off here, right? When you click on it, and then that's the function substring, right? And then it's gonna say, it's gonna go back, because it stays here and it goes back 9 spaces back. Toon, 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 toon. It goes back here, and then it uses a concatenation. Concatenation. I always have a difficulty saying those words, meaning that it's gonna add this portion of text here instead of the small. And when he adds that, it changes the source, and that picture becomes that large picture. If we don't change that, we're gonna see the small picture on that modal. All right. So once that's done, right? Once it changes that, then we have to actually assign that source, because right now we just have this value in this variable. We just have all this functionality on this variable. We're not doing anything with it. But then we have to actually go and do it. So we have to target that specific image and then use a function for the attribute and change that attribute source right here with that, with what we did right here, which is replacing that. All right. So once we do that, then it's done. And then we just do the another on click function. So when we click on it, on that specific box again, we just hide it, and that's it. All right. So I hope, I was very specific. I hope it was a good explanation for you. If you like the video, I think this was a very long video, but I just feel like I had to explain it to you. If you liked it, if you liked the explanation, like the video, share it with your friends, make a comment, let me know, give me some feedback, so that way I can become better. But anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.